Hey, this is Rob Moore, founder of therobmoore.com, award-winning author and leadership expert, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to share with you a little bit of the big takeaways that I experienced from a course by the name of Master Your Mind. That was in Palm Springs, California this past weekend, hosted by a company by the name of Peak Potentials. And the main reason why I'm shooting this video is because there was a friend of mine that I attended a lot of these courses with, and unfortunately she was not able to make it to this particular course, and she asked me to give her a few takeaways of some of the things that I learned. And I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to do a little bit better. I'm going to shoot a quick video, and not only can she benefit from what I'm going to say, you can learn some really cool things about mindset as well. So let's jump right into this. I don't want to make this a long video, so I'm just going to give some of the big hot points of what I learned. One of the speakers there was, his name was Raymond Aaron, and he spoke about strategic goal setting. And he shared with us this formula that he just came up with that helped him achieve some really cool things in his life. He wanted to go through this marathon, and the guy was like totally out of shape, but he still wanted to do this marathon anyway. And he ended up doing very well in this marathon, and the way he did it was through this strategic goal setting system that he developed. The name of it is MTO, which stands for Minimum Target Outrageous. The minimum stands for the minimum goal that you want to achieve. So in that example, his minimum goal was to just get to the starting line. And then the T, which is for target, was to cross the finish line, which is the stretch, because he didn't even think that he would be able to finish because he wasn't in shape. And then the O, which is outrageous, was the part of that goal that he did not think he could achieve. So it's a goal that you can't think you can achieve, which for him was to come in first. So he applied this system, took it step by step, and he ended up doing, he didn't come in first, obviously, but he came in pretty high. I can't remember exactly what he said. I think he came in like 4th or 5th. So he was able to do extremely well using this formula. And then the other big thing that follows up to that system is that once you set a goal, you have to take the first step immediately. Meaning that if I decide that I want to become financially free, I make that decision right now. I need to do something right now. It doesn't matter how big, how small, but I need to do something right now to start the momentum process in order to start reaching that goal. So that sounded pretty cool, pretty different from what I've heard in the past. So I found that as being one of the big high points. Another big takeaway that I had was from a guy by the name of Jim Quick. The guy's a memory expert. We did a ton of different exercises there, to help us improve our memory. And then he also did a lot of demonstrations on what he does to improve his memory. And not only what he does, but he actually put it into action. And one of the real cool things that I learned is that he said that most people read so slow, or only can read a book every month or two because of something called sub-vocalization. So when most people read, they read in their head word for word. And it's actually even slower than speaking word for word. And not only does it take a long time to read a book because of that, you tend to forget a lot of the information that you speak if you don't go over it over and over and over again. So that was really cool. But then he said that if you want to retain more information, you want to read faster, because when you read faster, your focus is a lot more than it normally would be. And the analogy he used is driving a car. If you're driving a car slow, 20, 30 miles an hour, not only are you riding the car subconsciously, and you know what you're doing without thinking about it. You have time to text, you have time to eat, drink coffee, talk on the phone, talk to your friends, all while you're driving the car, because you don't really have to focus on it because it's going so slow. But if you're driving a car at 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, you have to focus on what you're doing. There's no way that you can do any of these other things, because if you try to do any of these other things, you're going to die. So you have to focus when you're going at a high speed. So he says if you read, just read faster, you're going to focus more, and you're going to pick up more information, and you're going to retain more information. So that was huge takeaway. Now, there was so many other speakers there, but I'm just going to share two more quick things that happened during the course. One, in most courses that Peak Potentials does, you do a lot of work with declarations. They are huge on declarations. If anybody that's taken a Peak Potentials course doesn't need me to re-emphasize, how much they focus on declarations, because they're just so important. And I believe in the importance of declarations too. But in this course, it was a lot different from other courses, because we didn't just say declarations all the time. We did them in so many different ways to make sure that we lock these things in. There was a lot of games, around doing declarations. There was a lot of different exercises. There were a lot of reprogramming processes. We focused on tonalities. We talked about using emotion. We talked about using VAX. If anybody has taken any Peak Potential courses in the past, you know what a VAX is. We did that a lot in a lot of different ways. Just a overabundance of things that we did to not just master your mind, but to master your mind right there in the course. Really cool. And all these things I can do at home. So that was really cool and phenomenal. And I'm going to share with you a gentleman by the name of John Kehoe was there. Now, this is T. Harv Eckert's #1 mind control, mind power expert. I mean, this guy was freaking awesome. And he did a presentation. And let me tell you something. I've read a lot of books. I've listened to a lot of speakers. And this guy broke down the mind in such a simplistic way that it was so easy to understand. And not only did he explain it, but he talked about how it works in a very simplistic way. And he talked about exactly what you do to deal with the mind when it doesn't want to do the things that you want it to do. He talked about processes that you can do on your own every day to eliminate every single negative that comes up in your life. He talked about how to train your mind, how to do mental gymnastics so that you can discipline your mind to do whatever you want it to do. So he's phenomenal. You got to get his books. You got to go to his website. Anything John Kehoe has, you have to get it. They had an offer there. I definitely took advantage of it. John Kehoe was the man. And a cool surprise was T. Harv Eckert actually showed up there at the course to thank John Kehoe for coming, which was really, really cool. So that was good. Another thing was, on the last day, he had another one of his huge mentors there by the name of Sherry Huber. And she did a fantastic presentation. And she really talked a lot about the mind, and a lot about how to achieve your goals and how to live your life. And she shared with us this process of, self-mentoring. Oh, man, self-mentoring with the recorder. We took a recorder and we had to write out, like a love letter to ourselves. We had to write a love letter that we would want to receive from somebody. The best love letter we would want to receive from somebody. Like 2 to 3 paragraphs, and then we recorded it on a recorder, and then you're supposed to play it to yourself like 3 times a day, because science has shown, according to what I learned at this course, that our particular voice has a certain frequency, and it's the best frequency to heal our own bodies. And that was pretty profound. And the last piece of information that Sherry said, and not just Sherry said, but kind of T. Harv Eckert and Sherry both on the stage said at the same time, was something that was really profound for me, was that confusion is what happens when you look to the conditioned mind for clarity. Confusion happens when you look to the conditioned mind for clarity. That was pretty profound to me. And, there was so much other content that I can speak about with this course. But, this is a short video. I just wanted to give you a few chunks, give you a few takeaways. But these are definitely all things that you could put into action into your life immediately. So go ahead, put those things into action. You got any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Definitely don't forget to check out my website. You can contact me there as well. And this is Rob Moore reminding you to show up, step out, and shine. Now is your time, so make it shine. Have a great day.